Porsche sales drop like a rock. Chrysler sales have shrunk 80%, and the internal combustion engine Mustang lags the electric vehicle. Today, I read an interesting article on ZeroHedge.com, written by Tyler Durden, likely a pseudonym for writers at Zero Hedge, titled, "Porsche Applies Large Markdown for Taycan EV as Demand Runs Out of Juice." The author of this article said Germany's largest automaker has recorded sliding profitability. Its China unit is under pressure as demand for luxury automobiles wanes. I'm not surprised to hear about this. The real estate market in China is a mess right now. I'm sure there are people who are having to cut back on expensive purchases. I also have to wonder how much of this is due to competition from Chinese automobile manufacturers. There are some impressive vehicles being manufactured in China right now. Getting back to the article, the author reported about the Porsche Taycan and said the company is offering markdowns of $22,500. Apparently, the used values have plummeted in 2024. My friends, things are not well in the automotive industry. I've read about multiple layoffs at different companies. Nissan had to merge with Honda. Stellantis is struggling big time. Ford blew through a ton of money to manufacture EVs. If we are hearing about all of this bad news in the automotive industry right now, imagine what we might witness if and when we enter an ugly recession. If we ever see a big correction or crash in the stock market, or if we see unemployment tick up, I think some automakers could be in big trouble. I really don't know how some Americans afford new vehicles these days. Even a basic car is very expensive, and then they have to finance that car in this higher interest rate environment. In some cases, people have to finance all of the junk fees that dealerships charge. It's becoming very difficult to find a dealership that isn't involved with these scams. Maybe some of you watching this video have experienced this firsthand. If you have, tell me about it in the comment section below. Here's another interesting article about the automotive industry. I read this on CNBC.com, written by Robert Ferris, titled, "Chrysler Sales Have Shrunk 80% in 2 decades. Here's how executives plan to bring the brand back." According to the author, the heyday of Chrysler appears long gone. When I read this first line in the article, I tend to agree with the author. I remember when I was a kid, I flipped through old car magazines and read about all of the cool Chrysler muscle cars, some of which had Hemi V8s. Many of these vehicles had enough power to dominate just about any competition from Chevrolet or Ford. Now, please understand, I consider Chrysler and Dodge to basically be the same. At one time, Chrysler was the parent company, and Dodge was a brand under them. Now we have Stellantis, and Chrysler and Dodge are brands under them. Back in the day, Chrysler and Dodge had independent branded products, which were basically the same. Each brand had a minivan, but mechanically they were the same. I remember reading about the first Viper in the early 90s. I thought it was so cool because it reminded me of the original Shelby Cobras. Those days are long gone. Sure, there have been some cool cars by Chrysler nowadays, such as the Dodge Demon, but as a whole, the company seems to have lost its way. Remember back in the 1980s when they released the Dodge Caravan? They beat everyone else to the market with that idea. Everyone and their mama wanted one of those back then. I even knew several men who drove one because they were so popular during that era. I never cared for the town and country version with the fake wood on the sides, but the idea of the Caravan was innovative. It was a people hauler that got great gas mileage, and it was affordable. It was a lot cheaper than those big conversion vans of the 1970s and the early 1980s. Getting back to the article, the author said the Chrysler brand sold nearly 600,000 vehicles in 2005, but is sold fewer than 125,000 in 2024, which is an 80% decline in 2 decades. The author said, Chrysler plans to release a large SUV soon. Well, I hope it is made better than the Dodge Durango was. Those things fell apart. I don't know of a single person who was happy with their Dodge Durango. I knew a guy who traded in a nice Chevy Tahoe on a Dodge Durango when they were released and became super popular. That was a really dumb trade. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Now here is an interesting story. I read this on foxbusiness.com, written by Eric Revelle, titled, Ford Mustang Mach-E sales surpass traditional Mustang. According to the author, sales of the traditional Ford Mustang declined in 2024 as car buyers increasingly turned to the electric Mach-E, which topped its traditional counterpart last year. Ford sold 44,003 traditional Mustangs in 2024 and 51,745 Mustang Mach-E models. Here are my thoughts. In my opinion, that electric SUV-looking thing is not a Mustang. I thought it was a horrible idea to brand that as a Mustang. If I was going to buy a Mustang, it would have a V8 and a nice engine rumble and the smell of exhaust. I'd want a 1969 Boss 429 or a Mustang GT or LX 5.0 from the late 1980s. During the 80s, the Mustang had real performance, in my opinion, compared to what was available from General Motors. Those old Mustangs had factory headers, which was really cool in an era focused on emissions. They also had a distinctive sound when you started them up. I'm curious, what do you think about this? Would you want one of these electric SUV-looking Mustang Mach-E's? Tell me about it in the comment section below. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, the Mach-E bears no resemblance to a 1967 Mustang GT 350 or any of its subsequent pony muscle cars. Another commenter talked about the Mach-E and said, it's like burning a piece of chicken and then claiming it's a steak because it's brown. This next person said, I wouldn't even drive one if it was free. Another commenter said, nope, that is not a Mustang. Just because you slap a pony on it does not make it a Mustang. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone being sarcastic. This person said, I'm sure EVs will have great resale value. Dealerships are giving them away now. No one wants them except John Kerry. Well, my friends, the commenters always have interesting things to say. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.